Was there a man in a jetpack floating over Sequoia National Park in California just a few days ago? Check out the footage behind me and let me know in the comments what you think. Also, again, I got hit with a fact check on my last video. Just as a reminder, guys, so it doesn't happen again, I never claim any of my content is absolute fact. I'm not trying to push a narrative. I'm not trying to instill thoughts or ideals in anybody's head. I'm not trying to sway anybody's opinion one way or the other. I just report on the information that I find. I provide it to you guys and let you decide. That's what I do.
Is it a cross? Heck no, it's not a cross. What is that? Like a... Whoa.
Let me see it.
Dude, it looks like a dude in a suit. It looks like Iron Man. What the heck? Jonathan, what in the world?
What is that? Maldakians. Might be the super people, Maldakians. Yeah.
I don't know nothing about no Maldakians.
Might be them. You'll know.
Notice the
when
movement
you-
of
when you
its
guys see
arms.
them.
And it seems to be spinning 360 degrees counterclockwise continuously.
I think we got Maldakians. They set up in a suit. Astronaut in a spacesuit like the
Very interesting to say the least. It obviously does essentially look like a man in a spacesuit floating at a decent height.
Jonathan, what the heck is that?
You really
dude?
can't see it very well with the naked eye.
It almost looks like a
Luckily,
person, right?
there was a few people there with actual cameras that they could zoom in on it and actually get a good shot of what it was. Because phones
But then when it turns,
weren't really cutting it.
It's really odd.
As you can see, it is pure white. It looks like there's something on its back. It looks as though it's a humanoid type figure. I'm not saying it is, absolutely not. But it's intriguing nonetheless. It's questionable at best as to what it could be. As you can see, it has arms, legs, and it seems to be moving. Also, take notice, it doesn't look like it's actually ascending or descending. It looks as though it's staying in the exact same spot in the air. It's not gaining in height or falling down. So, what could it be? I'm baffled. Now again, I'm not saying it's a man. I have no idea. It very well could be a drone or a balloon. But people online are absolutely buzzing about it regardless. Some are saying it's an interdimensional being, something that ended up here that wasn't supposed to necessarily end up here. Others are saying that it could be an angel or a demon, while others are saying that it has to do with a project with the word beam in it. Now, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. It's hard to say. I would think that if it was so, that it would be something different, more elaborate, a much bigger, more identifiable object to the naked eye and to people on the ground. Also, I'm going to go ahead and play it again. If you look closely, notice its movement. If you watch, it looks like it's spinning in circles, right? It's spinning in circles and it's dropping its arms. But then, as it spins, it continues to spin in a circle. It picks its arms up and then it looks as though it hunches over. Almost as if it looks like it's going into a prayer position, putting its hands together and hunching over, as if bowing and praying. If you look closely, I'm pretty sure that's what it's doing. And it's doing it over and over and over again. This part is the part that struck me as odd. But before we get into that, I'd also like to say that if you remember correctly, back in 2020, I remember thinking, wow, they actually finally figured out how to use a jetpack and put a man in flight. Over LAX airport in California, there were at least 3 to 4 sightings, if not more, of what they called the jetpack man. Sometimes this man would be seen at over a mile high off the ground, which is insane for a jetpack to reach those kinds of heights. Now, I know you all have seen the guy who on TikTok has a jetpack and he flies all over the place. They always stay close to the ground and they never max out the speed. And I believe that's because they don't want us to know that this jetpack can actually take people to heights we never dreamed of. We're talking some real Iron Man stuff here. Never show us that in the video for a reason. That reason being the military implications of such a technology. They wouldn't want that getting out to the public or opposing countries, nations. I mean, think about it. Imagine the military application something like that could have in mass. Flying suits on a human that could take you to heights we don't even know yet, maybe miles high. That's crazy thought, especially if you could arm them. Now you have a total tactical military advantage. So I believe they kept it under wraps. They kept it close to LAX. If this is the case, the FBI, mind you, said it was just a balloon. So keep that in mind. It was just a alleged balloon. But had it not been, in theory or hypothetically, they kept it above LAX so that the gentleman in flight could watch the planes as they take off and land. That way he's just not floating in the air out in the abyss and gets schmucked. I know that may sound like an unlikely reason, but do yourself a favor and go look at the flight's website to show you how many planes are in the air at one time. You'll change your mind. As I said, this was back in 2020 and there really haven't been any sightings of this jetpack man since, until now. Back to what I was saying before. The movements look repeated. It looks as if he's going in a circle, dropping his hands, and then picking them up to a praying position and hunching over, then dropping, then praying. I don't really see the balloon or blow up object type situation just because the balloon theory, what could you do to a balloon that would make it stay at a certain height and repeat its motion over and over again? It just seems very unlikely. I mean, others think that it could possibly be a man who got thrown to a wormhole or into a dimension and he's stuck there. I don't know. It doesn't show what exactly happened to the guy. I don't know whether he disappeared or what happened, but very, very interesting nonetheless. The footage is something else. It does look like a man in a spacesuit, a white spacesuit, but it hasn't been confirmed. There's been no news articles on it, just 2 that I found, and that was on a different application. And that is more baffling than anything about this said situation, is how have no news networks whatsoever done any reports on this? The jetpack man over LAX was covered from CNN to MSNBC to Fox News. This is literally only been covered, from what I've seen, by 2 websites. That, and of course, your social media platforms, your content creators had jumped right on it. Again, this was 4 to 5 days ago. You decide in your mind the media not covering it and what that means. I don't know. I'm just saying, throwing it out there. The fact that they didn't cover it, I guess you decide what that means. In the end, always intriguing, always bringing that fire, crazy stuff on the internet every day, providing me with awesome content. Bearing that in mind, let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm eager to hear y'all's opinions on what it is. And y'all, just stay tuned, because there will be more on the way. Stay in love, stay in the light, be kind to others. Your boy is out.